knocks it down. Little's kick is up. The 70-yard field goal is good! Yeah! He just made a 70-yarder! He ended the half on a 70-yard field goal! How good is that?
That's good, Frank. That is good. You are right. That's incredibly good.
Cam Little, this kicker out of Arkansas, drafted last year in the 6th round. This dude, Little, hits big balls. I mean, he is so incredibly impressive.
He drills it from 52 yards. Does Cam Little. Cam Little kicks it up, and the field goal is good, and we are tied. He drilled it.
Man, he's a stud. You should see him hit a golf ball. I mean, it's like the same that you see out here. I mean, he's explosive. The ball jumps off his foot. He's got multiple different kicks in his repertoire in the kickoff game as well. And he's really fun to be around.
Cam Little kicks it up. The 68-yard field goal is good! He drilled it from 68 yards!
There's so many good kickers around this league. There's so many guys that are very, very capable of hitting that kick. It just all comes a matter of, when you get the opportunity, seizing it.
A 67-yarder from the right hash. Logan Cook will put it down. There's the hold. There's the kick. The 67-yard field goal is good!
Cam Little hits massive balls. I mean, this dude just murders balls.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Mike DeRocco, and RJ Saunders.
Mike DeRocco is back once again. Anybody catch the panic look on RJ's face right there? And when whatever button he was pressing didn't respond immediately on that. I enjoy those kind of moments. Good morning, everybody. D-Rock, one last go-round with the fellas here, at least for the 2025 season, which is still ongoing because the Super Bowl is yet to be played.
Yeah.
So how are things?
Great. Chilly, cold,
Yeah.
but great. Just kind of still winding down from this season. You know what I mean?
Saw your piece, and we'll get into it today on the 5 biggest offseason storylines for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we'll dig into some of that today. We can get your reaction to the story of the week with the Belichick Hall of Fame snub. And but today we're going to get into that partially, Tony, with John McClain. But wanted to have John McClain on for a dual purpose today. He obviously covers Houston sports. Want to get his take on the way things crashed to a halt for the Houston Texans with C.J. Stroud having a playoff meltdown.
No doubt. Yeah.
A la Trevor Lawrence in 2022. But the difference is we came back, and they didn't. And so we'll get into that a little bit today, the Hall of Fame voting process, and on and on and on as the uproar goes. By the way, in terms of people claiming on Twitter that they voted for him, it's like I think they've only found 2 people who said they haven't voted for Belichick. We know there's at least 11 of them out there. So they will all be outed in due time because that's the process that we go through now. Mike, how big of a deal is it that the Jaguars retain, in addition to Heath Farwell, their other 2 coordinators? We always kind of pass by Heath Farwell, who does a hell of a job, right?
Oh,
I mean, the special teams were like, oh, we don't need to worry about them. He's got it under control. But Campanile, Udinski, both back. How big of a deal is that for the Jags?
Oh, I think it's huge. Anytime you can have the continuity, especially after a season where everything went really, really well, that's fantastic. Especially for Trevor. They want to keep everything as consistent as they possibly can. Because while we all sit here and think that kid's just going to pick up right where he left off and the offense is just going to keep going up and it's going to average 28 points a game, there's no guarantee of that. We've seen that happen before where it didn't keep going up for whatever reason. So when you have that guy that's back that Trevor really respects and likes and played a large role in game planning every week and helping Trevor fix all those fundamental issues and understanding the offense, that's perfect for Liam Cohen. And I think we talked about it before. I didn't think either of those guys were going to get a job this cycle. But getting those interviews certainly shows that there's at least some interest in these guys. And, other teams are going to be like, you know what, let's see what happens in year 2.
They both got more interest than Liam Cohen got last year.
Without question.
Liam Cohen had one team knocking on his door, and they both had multiple teams that they interviewed for. Now, how legitimate was that interest? Obviously, Liam Cohen, once he interviewed here in Jacksonville, ascended to the top of the wish list for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I'm happy. Very little turnover on the coaching staff. We can get into that a little bit later on today, a little bit more in depth with Mike DiRocco. I see this headline, makes me laugh. Senior Bowl risers surge up 2026 NFL draft boards. Have guys already surged up draft boards, Tony, based on a couple of days of practice? Like, wow. That's pretty amazing. I did not take in any of the Senior Bowl practice yesterday. Were you a viewer?
No.
Yeah, it's tough. It's harder when you don't have a gauge. Even when you don't think any of those guys is likely to be your selection when you're picking in the top 10, when you've got a top 10 pick, you're kind of like drawn like a moth to the flame
You're
of
more
watching it.
directly connected with whatever the draft process is going to be. It's not that we won't talk plenty of draft, obviously, over the course of the next couple of months.
Just in a different way.
Right. It'll just have to be a little bit. We've gotten very used to the Jags picking in the top 5, right? Like, that's been the typical conversations we're having. So this year it's like, well, don't even have a first round pick.
Right.
They're picking in the top 60. That's nice, right?
We can
that's the
all
level we're
kick
at,
back on Thursday night and relax, and it'll be fantastic. No pressure. Write really quick. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
And then at pick 27,
yeah, exactly.
Here comes the big trade.
That's what I'm totally expecting.
Do you still go down to the building this year?
Yes.
On just the off chance that they might get into the first round?
Do they do a draft party?
I don't.
They probably don't.
Probably
right?
not for the first round pick. For the first day, you probably do something for maybe the second day is the Friday night. I mean,
Friday night. I mean, you do have 4 picks on Friday night, so that'd be kind of cool. It'd be something to do if they wanted to.
Look, you want the fans to be. You want to capture the enthusiasm and capitalize on it. So you might as well. I mean, you sell some beer and sell some hot dogs or whatever the heck it is, make a little money and have some fun at the same time.
Who was the team that I heard? It might have been the last cycle or the one before. I'm not sure. Wherever the draft was held, they considered trading out of the first round, and something came out about how they didn't want to do it because all the folks that had turned out to see who the pick was going to be. And isn't that a weird kind of position to put yourself in?
I don't remember that story.
I do. I want to say it happened in the last couple of years, but
that would be foolish.
It would be incredibly foolish, right, to operate like that. But, it's kind of like, a referee's influenced by the crowd. I think you kind of do get influenced whether you want to admit it or not. I would hope with something that important that wouldn't dissuade them. But I think it was not something they went in planning to do, but they got an offer and they're like, if it doesn't blow us away, it's going to create a scene.
Where's it? It's been in Nashville.
Was it in Green Bay?
Green Bay.
I want to say maybe it was the Packers.
Philly? Was it in Philly one year too?
It was in Philly, but that's going back a few years now.
Right. And then this year,
I think they did. Did they do 2 of them in Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken?
I don't know.
They did at least one for sure. Might have done 2. It doesn't matter, really. It's one of those scattered thoughts popping through my mind right now. If you want to get in today, you can weigh in on a number of things, including today's Chat and Sandy Real Estate question of the day, asking you which young Jaguar will have the biggest impact on the team's success this year in 2026. That is, obviously. And we went with some of the draft picks from last year, Caleb Branshaw, Wyatt Milam, Bajal Tootin, but also, if you want to throw a wild card in there, whichever player they take at pick 56, which is currently their highest pick. We didn't want to put Travis Hunter, thought it might tilt the scales too far in that direction. There's no other rookie from last year's class that I felt had a chance to rise up to the level of these 3 guys. So anyway, that's the question. If you want to have some fun with that today, particularly if you vote for the player they take at pick 56, at least maybe reply with what position you're hoping that they get. It'd be tough to know what player you would expect them to get at that point. All right, if you want to get in, today, 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can hit us up on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at ESPN DiRocco, and at R Has No J. And you can stream us on YouTube, on X, and on Facebook. We've got John McClain talking Hall of Fame and Houston Texan offseason questions That's coming up next on Jaguars Today, our final day with D-Rock for a while here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
I'm Mr. Rurik. Let me officially welcome you to
1010XL, where we make sports fantasies happen.
Yes!
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
Jaguars Today, Thursday, is brought to you by
Cannons of Jacksonville.
I'm with Grateful Cycles in Jacksonville. We always talk about Honda, Triumph, so many great bikes, but Aprilia from Italy is also a beautiful line.
It is absolutely gorgeous, and it is a fine sport bike. It's one that when you take your helmet off, you're never frowning. You're always smiling.
So if you want to treat yourself to something really special on the road, that's a line they should look into?
Absolutely, and we've got them in stock and ready to roll.
All right, make sure you check them out. They are on Atlantic near Regency. CyclesofJacksonville.com is a great place to go, or check out their Facebook page at Cycles of Jacksonville.
Gators in the morning, Florida for lunch, a late night Gator snack. Whenever you're ready, the Gator Podcast channel is too. Set up by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Youth sports at the YMCA's focus on teamwork, discipline, and building confidence. Our experienced coaches can create a positive and supportive environment where your kids can grow, stay active, and develop a love for sports. Sports like basketball, volleyball, swimming, gymnastics, and even elite skills training. Join the fun and register. Give your kids a chance to be a part of something special. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Basketball is back as Division I college basketball takes center stage with the UNF Ospreys. Osprey basketball returns home to CSI Company's court at UNF Arena this Saturday, January 31st against Lipscomb. So make your plans to see the Ospreys in action at UNF Arena on Saturday, January 31st against Lipscomb. Tip-off at 2 o'clock. Visit UNFospreys.com/buy tickets now to secure your seats. UNFospreys.com/buy tickets now.
Swoop! Covering the First Coast and ready to help when you need it. That's Rebound Rehabilitation. With a dozen locations, they're easy to get to and they'll get you back in the game. Sports injury, workers' comp case, or auto accidents, you name it, they can help. Check out reboundrehab.com.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Have you been thinking about selling your home and you haven't pulled the trigger? Let me tell you about Chad and Sandy and the experts that will help you make that decision. Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building, so now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Need to sell now, need to sell fast, need max price. Check, check, check. Chad and Sandy have the science behind it. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Jonathan writes from Mount Pleasant. The only thing standing between me and my dream of hitting the road in my RV was selling my Mount Pleasant home. After hearing Chad and Sandy on the radio, I gave them a call. The results were unreal. In just 3 days, I had multiple offers at full asking price. So can you. Call the local experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy, 414-6200, or chadandsandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC. home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Mike DeRocco Thursday on Jaguars Today is covered by Lee and Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
All right, Mike DeRocco with us here. D-Rock Thursday. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith on Jaguars Today here on 1010XL. You know, we wanted to have John McClain on because we want to start taking a look at, rebuilding the AFC South from the ground up heading into 2026. And John's been covering Houston sports for a long time. He also happens to be a Pro Football Hall of Fame voter, and we'd be remiss not to ask him about the NFL story of the week for sure, John McClain. John, looking at your bio, it said your 49th year covering the NFL in Houston. Now that it's 2026, do we need to update that to around 50?
When I get to the season, it will be 50 seasons, yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll wait till the season. We're not trying to rush our lives away here, John. And we appreciate, look, there's some sensitivity to being a Hall of Fame voter, right? It's a privilege. It's reserved for only 50 select people who have covered the league for a long time and represent different markets or and just have a wide berth of knowledge. And you certainly fit into that category. So we're not going to ask you about deliberations or anything like that, John. I guess just what is your reaction to Belichick not getting in on the first ballot and all the fallout that's come with it in the last 24 hours?
Well, first of all, I've been on the committee 33 years. I served on the senior subcommittee for 17 years, and I've been on the contributors committee for the last 2 years. And there's a lot of misinformation and misconceptions about what we do. And I'll say right off the bat, it's inexplicable that Belichick is not getting in. That won't be official till Thursday of next week, when the NFL Honors Show announce it. We don't have a clue. The 50 of us on the Hall of Fame committee, we have no idea who's in or who's out, other than this ESPN story that Belichick did not make it. And the reason that got out is early last week, the Hall of Fame informed the ones who didn't make it that they didn't make it. And so they told Belichick they wouldn't tell him, others who did or didn't. So it had to come out from somebody he told. And he knows a lot of people. I doubt that it came directly from Bill because that's not his style. And then they had the door knocks for each of those guys that did get into the Hall of Fame. And so, and like I said, we don't have a clue who's in. And they used to tell us that ahead of time, but there were too many leaks. And so they told us, and I said, I don't want to know. I don't want people to think I'm leaking people who are in or out. And so they changed the rules in 2024. Used to, we had 2 seniors, 1 coach, and 1 contributor, and we voted yes or no on those 4. And almost always they got in. The big committee, 50 of us, rubber stamped what the subcommittees had recommended. They changed the rules on us, and we could have 3 seniors, 1 coach, 1 contributor. This year, the 3 seniors were quarterback Ken Anderson, running back Roger Craig, and defensive end L.C. Greenwood, along with Belichick as the coach and Kraft as the contributor. But of those 5, we can only vote for 3. And if you get 80%, you're in. If none of them get 80%, the top vote getter gets in. That's how it ended up with only 1 of the 5 last year making it, and that was receiver Sterling Sharp. We on the committee don't like this setup. We have nothing to do with the rules changes. We just abide by them. I'm hoping this controversy will lead back to us voting yes or no and not having to take 3 of the 5. Now, 11 people did not vote for Belichick. They voted for other people. Via Gregorian, longtime columnist in Kansas City, wrote a column yesterday explaining why he voted for the 3 seniors and not Belichick or Kraft. And the reason is, when you're a senior finalist, if you don't make it, the odds are you're not going to be a finalist for a long time, if maybe never. So he thought, well, Belichick will get in for sure next year. Kraft will get in eventually. So I'm voting for the 3 seniors. And it wasn't that he thought they were more deserving than Bill Belichick or Robert Kraft. And I would imagine 11 people that didn't vote for him, it was because of that, or it could be because they thought Belichick's spearheaded the worst scandal in NFL history, Spygate, and should have to wait a year. Could be they protested the change by the hall that coaches are eligible immediately, not having to wait 5 years like they used to and like everybody else. There's a variety of reasons that could have been for their reasoning, and we're told not to disclose our vote. So many have, but we're told not to. We can't discuss what happened in the meeting, and but it's an embarrassment for all of us. And we've weathered controversies before, and we'll weather this one, even though 39 of us voted for Bill Belichick.
John, Fred Taylor wasn't named a finalist for the Hall of Fame this year, but he has been for the last couple of years, one of the names being discussed in the room. What are just your thoughts in general on Fred Taylor and his candidacy for the Hall of Fame?
Sam Gavars does a great job on our committee advocating for the Jaguars. He did a great job on Tony Boselli. I used to see Tony before Texans games, and I'd tell him, be patient, you're going to get in. And yes, you didn't play a long career, but others have been in that situation. Just take good care of yourself. You're going to get in. and I'm glad that Tony finally did. Fred's been a finalist numerous times. People in our meetings don't say, I don't think Fred Taylor deserves to be in. I don't think Tony Boselli deserves to be in. It's that they believe others deserve it more. Could be on the timing. Could be just because they think the other guy's a better candidate. And as I tell everybody, like I've told guys who went up to their last year of modern eligibility, never give up.
All right, John, this is Mike Duraco. So enough with the Hall of Fame talk, I guess. Let's talk about what happened on the field this year. How big of a question mark is C.J. Stroud right now after the way the season ended and the fact that his play hasn't really hit the same level it did as a rookie the last 2 years?
Well, one of the reasons, Mike, is, and you've seen it, their offensive line has been terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible. They've had number one picks. Nick Caserio, the general manager, has done a great job rebuilding this team, but he has not brought in good offensive linemen. Stroud, and they improved the sacks, and people go, oh, the offensive line was so much better because they gave up fewer sacks. Well, one reason is they got Stroud to get rid of the ball quicker, not hold on to it, trying to make plays down the field, burn it, live for another play. And yes, it was improved, but they were constantly making changes. Guy starts the season, traded. Guy starts the season next to him at left guard, cut midway through the season. And so the constant changes, the constant pressure, the running game was mediocre at best this season. Joe Mixon, their best running back, had a really good season in 24. He didn't play all season. And then Stroud during the season only threw 8 interceptions. He didn't lose one fumble. And they won 9 consecutive games and finished 12-5 after an 0-3 start. And then he gets in the Pittsburgh playoff game. The defense is fabulous, scores 2 touchdowns. He had some really bad plays under pressure, panic plays in the pocket, but he made a bunch of big completions. So everybody thought, well, it's just Pittsburgh. He'll bounce back in the next game at New England. And in my 49 years of covering the NFL here, the only other quarterback had a bad game like that, Brian Hoyer, Kansas City here, wild card round 2015. He got benched because his rating was 13, and he was terrible, and they got shut out 30-0. But nobody expected anything for Hoyer because he was not a legitimate starter. Stroud has been. So in this game, Stroud panicked. He made terrible decisions with the ball, tried to make some ridiculous passes, and people say, stop trying to make hero plays when actually they were panic plays. So he said all the right things. His teammates did. Everybody did. Now, he's eligible for an extension. They'll pick up his fifth-year option. Will Anderson Jr. who picked one spot behind him, 3rd overall. He was great. He deserves an extension and will get it. That'll probably make him the highest paid defensive player in NFL history, but I'd make Stroud wait another year. There's no reason to do it. He has the same agent as Deshaun Watson had, David Mulligetta. Watson got his after the third year because he'd been better than Stroud, and he was ascending, not descending. So Stroud's problem is mental, and they've got the same offensive coordinator coming back, Nick Caley. I'm suspect of his play calling, and so no matter how he plays in regular season night, he's not going to be till the postseason. He's going to have to prove it in the postseason because there will always be skepticism until he does.
Talking here with John McClain, covering Houston sports for nearly 5 full decades at this point. John, you mentioned that offensive line was an issue. Do they just need to get healthier there in the offseason, or do they need more bodies and a talent infusion?
Everybody's got injuries, and they've had a first-round pick gone, no longer with the team. A second-round pick wasn't even active for the playoffs. Another second-round pick who is only plays when they bring in the jumbo formation. And they have guys off, free agents from other teams. They've spent a lot of money, and they just can't get it together. They didn't change their line coach. Usually they change them like we change underwear, and they just are not very good. They'll have spurts, but if somebody is in Stroud's face immediately after the snap of the ball, we're not surprised at all. And they had a great running game, best of the season in the playoff victory at Pittsburgh when they won 30-6, and then they were totally shut down at New England, and they put the pressure on Stroud, and he was horrible.
Is the expectation that Tank Dell will be able to be the same player he was before the injuries that kept him out this season when he's able to return?
You never know for sure. Dell he is 5'9". He weighs about 165. And he's got little bird legs, and he had everything repaired that you can have, multiple surgeries, and he wanted to come back at the end of this season. They wouldn't let him. Nick Caserio said he'll be ready for the off-season program. He was at a Rockets game last night with Will Anderson Jr., and he did some interviews, said, I'm ready to go. But until you see him on the field, you'll never know if he has the quickness, the quick stop ability. He used to move around like a hummingbird. Played at University of Houston, had 17 touchdowns his last season, and he and Stroud were tight. But you guys know today, with the miracles of modern medicine and what they know on rehab, it's like Tank Dell's going to be an extra draft choice.
That's crazy, man. I mean, that was a serious, serious injury. So the fact that he can even have hopes of returning to play, I think, is pretty amazing. But looks that's like it's going to be the case. John, last question for you. You know, Houston has arguably the best overall defense in the National Football League, certainly one of the best. But one of the challenges is keeping an 11-man unit together for an extended period of time. You mentioned Will Anderson's in line for a big money extension. How many more years can this group of players reasonably be kept together at a high level, in your opinion?
They have a lot of free agents, but there's not a lot of free agents they got to bring back. Now, they're about $13 million under the cap, but they have a lot of guys going into the last year of their contract that they can extend so they can get the cap figure lowered next season. So the cap's not going to be a problem. They have 4 defensive tackles whose contracts are expiring. They probably should keep 2, Sheldon Rankins, Tim Settle Jr. They had another one that they had acquired from Cleveland, Tommy Togiai, who started this season 3rd string, worked up to be a starter, and will stay a starter. So they probably need one more. They like to have a lot of depth in their defensive line, and they have it. But I don't see them losing any player they don't want to keep.
Well, we don't want to hear that around these parts, John, here in Jacksonville, FLA. But no, we don't come to you so we feel good. We come to you for the inside scoop on what's going on in Houston and a little bit of perspective on the Hall of Fame voting process as well. You can find John McClain on X at McClain_on_NFL, and you'll find him covering all manner of Houston sports, particularly the Texans. And John, we'll hopefully catch up with you sometime before the draft, and we'll see what free agency brings for Houston and how the landscape has changed. But as always, we appreciate your time this morning.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Anytime you guys need me, just let me know. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, sir. John McClain. At the beginning of the season, D-Rock, how many more years till you hit 50 covering the National Football League?
Well, I just finished my 13th.
All right.
So
ways to go.
Curse you.
You've covered
Mike
other
Dempsey.
things,
Yes.
however. I've covered the NFL. I feel like I first time I went in the locker room with a microphone was 1996 for the Jaguars. So, that's a full 3 decades. I'm not a beat guy like you. I'm not down there every day like you guys are. I had my years when I did that, just that's not my duties now, but I respect what you guys do and, getting in there on the grind on a daily basis. Like Tony and I are like a clearinghouse for you guys. Like we're not the information generators. We have opinions on the information that comes out, but that's why we bring guys like you on, D-Rock, to give us the straight scoop on what's happening with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
God bless John. 50 years doing anything is crazy.
50 years drawing breath is a good start.
Well,
kids,
yes,
right? I
yes.
mean, you think, 50. Yeah. Wait till you get to 50, all right? It's an accomplishment.
And always delivers. With
McClain's
his little
fantastic.
bird legs.
Yeah, McClain is fantastic.
I like it when the Texans are playing badly, only because, not because I'm a Jags fan, right? Only because John McClain on Twitter ripping the Texans is the funniest stuff you will read. He is sledgehammering everything. It is fantastic. It's like angry.
Even in the middle, we had him on Sirius XM during the midst of their 9-game winning streak, and he was just ripping things left and right.
I know.
Like, they're doing this, and that's not sustainable.
Great.
And this.
Oh my, he was fantastic as an entertainment value in the playoff loss to the Patriots. I mean, it was just, what's he got now? You know what I mean? And he's a must follow if you hate the Texans, honestly, because when the Texans play bad, he ain't shying away from anything. He will tell you exactly how he feels.
All right. Well, we appreciate John McClain hopping on board. Let's turn it back to your Jacksonville Jaguars after a peek at their main competition in the division. Which of these young Jags will have the biggest impact on the team's success in 2026? Caleb Ransaw, Wyatt Milam, Bajal Tootin, or whichever player they end up selecting with their first draft pick, currently picked 56 in the NFL draft. We'll come back and discuss that and more on Jaguars Today here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
New year, new lifetime dreams. Let's build them together. Jeff Breyer here with the Lifetime family of companies, your local backyard
and indoor
home improvement specialists.
That's right, Dad. Lifetime enclosures, lifetime flooring, and lifetime windows.
Glass and screen enclosures, outdoor kitchens, pergolas, replacement windows, all to enhance your home's livability and value.
And a huge flooring showroom with thousands of the latest tile, LVP, hardwood, and carpet selections to help you fall in love with your home again.
Come experience the lifetime difference. Call or visit one of our showrooms today for our limited lifetime offers.
You're locked into Jaguars Today Thursday with Cannons of Jacksonville. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
Feel the power of Van Halen. Live. Jump. America's Van Halen experience. Iconic riffs. And David Lee Roth era energy. Sunday, February 1st at Thrasher Horn Center. Get tickets now at thcenter.org.
Hey, Hicken here. Leave all the 2025 dirt and celebrate the new year with our friends from Zero Res. Carpets, tile, hardwood, LVP, area rugs, upholstery. Basically every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. Time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res, and don't forget about your air ducts. Zero Res has a 4.9 rating on Google with more than 8,000 reviews. Bring in the new year with 20% off carpet and upholstery cleaning, plus take $100 off your air duct cleaning when you mention 1010XL. 287-5727 or book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com.
Get your tickets for the Tom Coughlin J Fund Wine Tasting Gala. Join Super Bowl winning coach Tom Coughlin at VyStar Ballpark Thursday, March 5th and raise a glass to help local families tackling childhood cancer. Enjoy hundreds of wines from around the world and food from top local restaurants. Buy tickets and learn more at tcjfund.org/wine. tcjfund.org/wine.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Underwood has completed 75 years in business, and now you are starting your next 75 years. If you were going to simplify things, what is the single most important thing in Underwood's history, and what will be the most important thing in your future?
Frank, that's simple. Our honesty and integrity. You know, our founder, H.F. Underwood's favorite saying was, know the truth and tell the truth. That's why we're the longest-standing member of the American Gem Society in Florida. Because we know you have to have the knowledge about gemstones before you can tell the truth about them. That's why we continue to educate our staff through the Gemological Institute of America and the American Gem Society. In fact, today, Underwoods has the largest American Gem Society credentialed staff of professionals east of the Mississippi River. So come by and see why we're looking forward to the next 75 years and let one of our experts assist you.
That's at Underwoods, serving excellence since 1928. In San Marco, Avondale, the shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Mike DeRocco is protected by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
Man, you know, RJ, you've been killing it with the new opens, by the way. Don't think they've gone unnoticed. Excellent job. We've had like 4 new opens in the last week. And, I asked him today, we got a new open. He goes, what do you want, number 1 or number 2? I thought number 1 was Parker Washington and number 2 was Devin Lloyd because I'd already heard them. I guess since we had Lloyd yesterday, let's go back to Parker. He goes, no. Out of the ones you haven't heard. So he's got it ready to go.
Right.
He's got a deep rotation. Tony, I should pass this to you.
Oh.
And there's a text I got from Young Denmark last Friday. Should I read? I don't want to put him in a bad spot here. Should I read that text on the air, or should I think better of it?
Apparently, that's a no.
What do you think?
Well, he's talked about. Like the half of that he's talked about on the show before.
Yeah.
Like the back half of that statement.
Yeah.
You know, he's talked about having done that, and we were like, you did what?
Put it this way. He ate a whole pack of bacon the night before his first class as a teacher at Baldwin.
Yeah, that's nothing new.
Some mistakes were made. Let's just put it that way. It didn't necessarily.
A whole pound of bacon?
A whole pack. Yeah, I guess it's a pound, or what do they come in, a half pound? I don't know what size pack of bacon is. Is that a pound?
Usually it's either 16 or 12 ounces.
All right, whatever it is. So call it a pound of bacon, sure. Now, don't think I couldn't eat a pound of bacon.
Well, yeah, but...
Should you? Right. No, I'm with you.
Right.
But
I mean, like...
bacon is one of those things I feel like I could almost eat an endless amount of. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't fill me up enough to make me say I can't have one more piece. I can always have one more piece of bacon.
I'll say this. There's a difference between a pound of thick-cut bacon, I think.
Okay.
I mean, it's a pound. It's a pound.
It's a pound, you would think.
But you're eating... It just
chew it
seems
a little
heavy.
more.
Yeah. It seems like more work. I don't know.
All right.
But
Coach Denmark off to a great start, by the way, over at Baldwin, it sounds like. So that's good.
Students, not so much.
Well, since we are passing on messages, I just wanted to let you know that my girlfriend, Kara, says that she had never listened to the show until I started producing, and she's in love with you guys.
In love with us?
Yes.
So bring Kara around.
I will.
Bring Kara around.
I will.
Kara, you're invited to come by anytime. RJ does not have to be here, by the way.
Exactamundo.
When you stop by. I feel like that was RJ's way of saying, hey, I was able to attract a female.
No, that's
He's
not
like,
what I'm
did
saying.
I tell you?
No,
Oh, by the way,
there was a conversation.
There's a lady
there
who
was a
considers me
conversation
cool.
that happened last night, and she just wanted to let you guys know that she.
Thank you, Kara.
She loves.
What does Kara do? Give us some details.
She
on
works
Kara.
at FSCJ.
Okay, how serious are we with Kara? Like, is this
Yeah, serious.
serious?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been going out?
Almost 6 years.
Almost 6 years.
Yeah.
My brother. All right. My brother. All right.
RJ, you done made a mistake, son. You should not have brought this up.
No, this is good. Bro, I moved in with my now wife after 2 weeks of dating. We
For 2
moved
weeks?
in together.
Wow.
Okay. might not have been the right move for everybody involved, right?
But it was for you.
We then lived together for like 8 years before we got married. So you're right on track. I mean, you are right on
You're on
path,
track for
but
something.
You're
I
on
don't
the
know
path.
what.
You know,
you're on track for something.
These things can't be rushed, all right? And we're still together.
Says
by
the guy
way.
who moved in after 2 weeks. Don't rush
We
anything.
did, good point. Hypocrite. That's me. Hypocrisy. Thy name is Mike Dempsey. Thank you very much. No, you're right about that. We did, but it worked out well. Sometimes you know, right? Like we knew, like probably very early on, with that. We have cast our lots together here, you know, and the marriage just made it official. It just made it official. We were common law married for a long, long time around these parts.
Committed to one another.
Yes, absolutely, and still are. Still celebrate the anniversary of our first kiss over our wedding anniversary. So
Really?
there you go. Yes.
That's kind of
It'll be 36
sweet.
years in April.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy
How about
cow.
that? Go RJ.
Gonna
Love
get
it.
close to 50 soon. You and just like John, 50 doing.
Me and McLean, man. It's my poor wife is the one who she has put up with covering the Jaguars for 30 years vicariously through me. So there are times on Sunday when she just knows, don't ask about the game until I bring it up, because partly because I've spent all day talking about it, right? And I don't want to necessarily go right into it going home, but sometimes by the time I get home, the hour ride home helps me release the frustrations of whatever went down. This year, not so much, obviously.
Yeah,
13
happy
wins.
drives.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic. All right, we got a lot to get to. D-Rock, excellent piece on the top storylines for the offseason. We're going to dig into that. Let me get Chuck up here out at the beaches. Who knows what he wants to weigh in on? Hopefully something Jaguar related. Chuck, good morning to you.
Hey, everyone, guys. Love your show. Question for D-Rock, being that he's down at the stadium all the time.
Yes, sir.
After the Stumble-Rooski, kind of uninspired against Seattle, got shellacked in London, off-week injury to Hunter, win by the hair of your chinny chin chin against Vegas, lose that stunner to the Texans. Recall texting my buddies, this team is leaking oil. I'm thinking 8-9, best case 9-8. Didn't happen, fortunately. D-Rock, what was different about this team, in your opinion, from the 03 bunch and other bunches that probably would have gone to the tank, given what I just listed to you guys?
That is a great litany of where they stood at that point in time, right? Could have gone either way. Chuck, hang on and listen in, because we're up against a break here.
Okay.
And for once, we'll try to remember what we did going into the break. But what was different about this team compared to past Jaguar teams, that they rose to the occasion instead of folding under the pressure at that point? Because there was a lot of pressure at that point. Had lost 3 out of 4. As he said, barely escaped the Las Vegas Raiders. We'll get into that coming up on the other side through the eyes of Mike DeRocco on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 1010XL. Your front row seat to history in the making.
The Florida Gators, they are the 2025 national champions.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Jaguars Today Thursday is hitched to Cannons of Jacksonville for all your towing needs.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. If you have a school, team, or group that would benefit from a team store, you're in luck because we now offer team stores. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Happy New Year, everyone. It's time to treat yourself to something special.
What better way to start the year than with a stunning Cadillac from Randy Marion Cadillac?
My dad, Randy Marion, is the king of price, and we've got unbeatable prices and a great selection to choose from.
You can see all the inventory at randymarioncadillacjacksonville.com.
And don't forget, we need your car even if you don't buy from us.
Ask for Sean Spencer and he'll pay top dollar for your vehicle. Drive to Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville. Plus tax tag titled $9.99 admin fee and resistol on approved credit.
Number 9 opens up his teal and black bag of memories.
Go Googans! Let's go Googans!
David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony on Jaguars Today. Mondays on 1010XL. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida.
What's up, Duval? I'm Chad Valamek, owner of Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran-owned pool company for over 10 years. We specialize in new pool construction and pool renovations, built on military values, integrity, communication, attention to detail, and honor. Now is the perfect time to start your pool project, so when the heat hits, your pool is ready. As an Iraq War veteran and Purple Heart recipient, pride in what I do is everything. Let me show you the difference in how my team and I execute your pool project with military precision. Call Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran pool company.
The Jacksonville Icemen are in town for a pair of games this Saturday and Sunday. Saturday at 7, it's Star Wars night. Whether you support the Rebel Alliance or the Empire, come out for a night of fun as the Icemen wear special themed Star Wars jerseys. Then Sunday at 3, it's Publix Family Fun Day. Take a shot on goal on the ice after the game. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksonvilleIcemen.com, or call 904-602-PUCK. Iceman hockey is #Sub-Zero.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to FloridaHomeAC.com/careers to find out more.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, the adorable chess man on the trucks.
There are two things you should ask yourself about your garage floor. How clean is it now, and how clean would you like it to be? A typical bare concrete floor doesn't just collect dirt, it makes dirt.
It is literally made of dirt.
As much as you sweep and mop, the dust and grit just never ends.
And drips from your car seep into the pores, staining the concrete forever.
A Checkmate multi-layer floor resists drips and stains. It comes in your choice of dozens of colors and sweeps up sparkling clean in just seconds.
No need to wear shoes in the garage and track dirt back in the house.
Gorgeous?
Check. Durable?
Check. Tidy enough to walk on wearing clean white socks? Checkmate. Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate. Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Mike DeRocco is kept shining by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
All right, Jaguars Today, a.k.a. Kara's favorite show here on 1010XL. Very happy about that. Or is it? I don't know. We weren't told that. It is possible that maybe Helmets and Heels is ahead of us, RJ's other property.
Jaguars Today?
Oh, is it? You tell that to all the hosts that you're currently working with. RJ. All right, D-Rock, for once, I haven't forgotten. All
Hey!
right, Chuck wanted to know, with the season a little bit on the brink, right? Jaguars did not blink, and they won out. What was different about the makeup of this team, the character of this team, what have you? Why did they succeed when other past Jaguar teams have failed in similar circumstances?
Yeah, and I'll say this. I was kind of with Chuck, too. I was like, I did not expect this team after that Houston game to rebound the way they did, because it's largely made up of guys that were here in 23, certainly guys that were here last year, that when faced with that kind of adversity did not rise to the occasion at all. So they're rolling after that, and I'm like, I'm asking people inside the building, why is this group made up of a lot of those same guys? Why are they now responding and digging deep when they weren't able to do it before. And a couple of things. Number one, the coaching staff and Liam Cohen, the energy, infectious, his level of commitment, the way he's able to reach the players, certainly more so than Doug Peterson did, and his strong personality helped. The other thing, too, is the very first thing they said, I think one of the very first thing Liam Cohen said when he was hired was, we're going to be physically and mentally tough. And everything that they had done from that point through the offseason program, all of that stuff was designed with that in mind. It's a more physically tough team. I mean, you look at those games that they lost early in the season, the only game, like they went out to San Francisco, they were more physically tough than the Niners, which is an accomplishment because those Niners teams are generally really physically tough teams. The only team that kind of beat them up a little bit, I thought, was the Seahawks with that defensive front. But, whatever. But they were a physically tough team, and one of the things that I was told, and it sounds corny, but they came up with their little their standard of what it means to be a Jaguar, what they're wanting every player to be in order to make the roster. And if you weren't this kind of player, you weren't going to make the roster and you weren't going to play. And we saw that throughout the year.
Define that. What is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The two main things were being physically and mentally tough.
Okay.
And then the other thing was you need to love football. Needs to be important. You need to love football. You need to be a football guy. You know what I mean? That's important to you. It's not just something that you're doing because you're good at it. It's important to you. And being a good teammate and being somebody that is willing to sacrifice, is willing to go above and beyond. And it sounds really corny. And I was like, it can't be that. It really can't be that simple. And yes, it kind of is, because after, I talked to guys in the locker room about that stuff, and they were echoing all of that. And it's just holding everybody accountable to a higher standard than what had been held before, and doing it within the locker room, not necessarily having to come from the head coach. Because when it doesn't come in the locker room, it has to come from the head coach and the coaching staff, and that can only carry you so much. And this group responded and deserve a ton of credit for that.
So how do you value that? How do you think they will value that? Like when it comes to a guy like Trayvon Walker, okay? When in the
that is very high.
Right. Season-ending press conference,
right.
James Gladstone raved about how much he loved being here, loved his teammates. He is the
That's
kind of
what I'm
guy
talking
you
about.
want to go to bat. Right, exactly.
Yes.
Right. So I'm hearing everything you say. That's what I'm hearing. Trayvon Walker is a good example of this. Yet, he's not Myles Garrett, right? He's not Will Anderson when it comes to year-over-year sack totals. He's not these guys. He's going to be coming up, going to want to get paid. Every player does, right? How do you value that if you feel like he's an X dollar player who's seeking X plus whatever? Like how much is that aspect of knowing what you're getting from a competitive effort, love of the game standpoint worth to this franchise?
Well, it's worth a lot because that's who they want players to be, but it's not worth too much. You know what I mean? There's still a level that you have to have when you're building a roster of, okay, this is my price point. This is what we feel like we value this person at X. And if we can't get this person at X, we're not going to overspend. You know what I mean? You have to have limits, and I think the good organizations do that. Now, the problem for Trayvon is he was the number 1 overall pick. So the expectations for Trayvon are always going to be completely and totally out of whack for what he is as a pass rusher. He's a very, very good run defender. As we talked about, sets the edge. He's a strong dude. If he were playing in the middle as a 3 technique all the time, he would be one of the better ones in the entire league. I think we could all agree on that. So he's out there on the edge. So maybe you find out what happens this year if they're able to find another edge rusher, whether in free agency or via trade or whatever, and then he's able to play a little bit more inside, maybe then you see what he really could be there. Look, it's smart on their part to kind of take a little bit more of a wait-and-see approach. I mean, they pick up the fifth-year option. He's under contract for next year, so it's not a problem. Just see how things work. Because, again, this roster's not even close to being a finished product. They don't have all of their guys in yet. The 13 wins puts them ahead of pace to where they felt like they would be numbers-wise with wins and losses. I don't think in their wildest dreams they would have ever thought, we're going to win that division with a 13-4 record. You know what I mean? So it ramps the expectations up.
I think we all were told to like pump the brakes a little bit, and then they went well beyond.
So it ramped the expectations up on this franchise because of how well they did in that first year with all those guys, and this roster's still in flux. I mean, look, they brought in some veteran guys like Jordan Lewis and Eric Murray. Those are guys, that's great. Those are short solutions.
Shorter term, right.
Exactly. So you're trying to figure out how we replace those guys with the young guys that we draft. That's, if you're James Gladstone and that personnel staff, that's what they're doing now. It's like, we got to replace those guys, and maybe Travis Hunter is that replacement. You know what I mean? Maybe Caleb Ransaw is that replacement. Still,
young guys that
to
you've
be
already
seen.
got in the pipeline.
Right, but they're ahead of pace, and that's why, they may actually be a better team next year, and their record may not be better just because of the circumstances of who they're playing, when, where, all that good stuff. But a physically and mentally tough team will overcome a lot. And I think that is the standard where they are right now. We're not going to see this team not be physically tough and mentally tough anymore.
All right, good answer. Certainly. John on the west side gets in before the break. John, you're next on Jaguars Today. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Yeah, I was hearing you talking, Mike, about your length of with your wife. I remember you taking your little boy to Legoland.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, where does the time go?
Bro, you tell me about it, bro, right? He's 21 years old. He's in his final semester in college. And, the time has absolutely gotten away from me, sir.
That's awesome, man. You've done a great job as a dad. Real quick, Mike DeRocco, do you think that Gladstone is going to be able to get into the first round? And if he is, what would we have to give up to get in there? And I'll take your comment off the air. Thanks,
all right. Thank you, John. And like the last caller, hang in there.
Is it possible you're going to remember twice?
I'm gonna. This is gonna be record-setting territory right here. Can the Jags get into the first round? What would it cost to get into the first round? We'll discuss that when we return for hour 2 of Jaguars Today here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. 1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong.
The Drill.
I never thought you'd pull it off.
Mornings.
But you did.
On 1010XL.
Good luck.
Flame Broiler, the Rice Bowl King, is turning up the flavor with new char wings. These wings are charbroiled, never fried, grilled to perfection for a big taste without the grease. Grab them as a 3-piece or 10-piece side, or make it a meal with a 6 or 8-piece combo, served with rice and a drink. Order pickup or delivery today from any of Flame Broiler's 5 Jacksonville locations, or call 904-619-2786. Flame Broiler, bold flavor done right.
Jaguars Today Thursday is towed by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
They give their best physically and mentally.
Listen for the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Scholar Athlete of the Week, tuned up by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234
Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show.
on 1010XL.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental, with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
The Florida Forum welcomes former Russian political prisoner and Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Vladimir Kara-Murza at the Center of Performing Arts. Hear his powerful story of courage, imprisonment, and freedom, February 3rd. All proceeds for the Florida Forum benefit the Women's Board of Wolfson Children's Hospital, supporting a new outdoor play area for behavioral health services. Still to come, Chef Jose Andres on March 31st. Get your tickets now at thefloridaforum.com.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have two choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beards has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses in fine print. Beards has all the top designers, including Tacori and Viraggio. Beards doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned, with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beards Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beards in the St. John's Town Center.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update, sponsored by Peterborough, your neighborhood chocolatier. Florida steamrolled South Carolina, shooting 62%, dominating with glass, and getting big nights from Thomas Ha and Ruben Chignello. North Florida's Javen Strubble grabs his first ASUN Freshman of the Week honor after winning the high jump at the ACSEC Invitational. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
At 11:02, 51 degrees. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. It's a Mike DeRocco Thursday on Jaguars Today. Opened by Lee and Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
I've done it. Gone and done it again. I can't speak. I've gone and done it again. I'm so excited.
You remembered?
I remembered. 2 times in a
Attaboy.
row. I can tell John what it would cost, at least according to the classic trade value.
Oh,
chart.
yeah, I was looking at that too.
Okay, so according to the classic one, where the first pick, yours has first pick's worth $3,000, right? And it goes down from there. I think that was the Jimmy Johnson model.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, so that's been the standard one. There have been other adjusted ones. I can't tell you what the Jags adhere to. I would imagine they look at these and make sure they're not getting ripped off. But in the end, you got to decide. This chart can tell you a pick is worth X. If the players you think are going to be available there are not to your liking, is it worth that to you? But here's what I came up with, D-Rod.
And it also depends on how high up you want to trade it.
Absolutely. So yeah. All right, I went with pick 26. Buffalo Bills. Okay,
700 points.
700 points, exactly. Is that so? That's the range. If you want to get to pick 26, let's say that's a 30 pick jump from where. No, a 32 pick jump because 30 pick jump. All right,
Yeah,
I was
they were
right.
56.
Right, I was thinking the number anyway. 30 pick jump, confusing myself. So to get the 26 pick, according to the chart, you'd have to give up your second round pick, pick 56, which is worth 340.
Yeah.
The 81st pick in the draft, which is your first third rounder, worth 185. The 88th pick, which is your next third rounder, which is worth 150. That brings you up 25 points short of pick 26. So throwing pick 164 in, what would that be, the fifth round? Yeah. That's one of your nearly back-to-back fifth rounders. So
roughly what it would be.
56, 81, 88, and 164 to get pick 26.
And that's just to get into the end of the second round.
Correct. So, but that's where I don't think the Jags have the capital to get
to
up
move
high,
up any
right?
higher.
So,
yeah.
let's say
would
they
he
wanted
do
to.
that? Absolutely. If they look, you can't rule anything out after what they did last year. Would he do that? Yes.
Do you think that's a wise course of action for this team? Is this team one or two key playmakers away? And granted, they went 13-4. I don't think it's a crazy argument. So is this team that one or two more special players away, or would you rather have that wealth of draft capital?
Yeah, I don't know. And if you're looking at the numbers here, if you gave the second round pick and all the third round picks, like that could basically get you to 21.
Okay, all right.
Right?
That's a good way of looking at it.
Right? Like that's essentially, it would get you to 20 or 21 if you look at the value on all those things. I can't imagine that's something that would be seriously in play.
Well, I mean, F them picks.
That would be serious.
I mean, a lot of it obviously depends on what they do in free agency. But do I think they're one player away? No. I think they need help.
And they don't have a fourth round pick.
Right.
So that would be, they'd pick at 21 and then we'd see at the beginning of day 3.
Round?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now, based on, they got a second, 3 thirds, a fourth, 2 fifths, a sixth, and 3 sevenths. And some of those in the mid rounds have some conditions on them.
What's their fourth round pick?
Where's the fourth?
See, I knew you just asked me that and I closed the
Yeah, I'm
thing.
not seeing it on this this draft capital chart.
It just says fourth Jacksonville. Now that could be a fifth too, just depends on, some of that is dependent on some conditions that I don't 100% know right now, but that's
I thought
that's what I was saying.
To get Jacoby.
Yes.
Well, I got this just before the season ended. So I don't know. I've seen several different.
At best, they wouldn't be picking until the fourth round.
Right.
So the whole Friday night, all those players in the second and third round coming off the board, you would not. If you gave up all 3 third rounders and got up to my calculation, get them up to pick 22.
Right.
Is pick 22 worth more than those 4 players?
No. I mean, you need defensive line help. You need corner help.
Possibly a starting linebacker.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Possibly a starting running back.
Correct.
Yeah, Bajal too. I understand that.
But definitely, like, the linebacker is one of those overlooked needs that we don't really talk about, because I don't know if Kaiser's the guy. But maybe they bring Devin Lloyd back. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they don't. But, somebody had it the other day that they felt like they, I don't know if it was ESPN or whatever. There's so many stuff. I think one of our guys wrote that they thought they would re-sign Lloyd and let ETN walk. So either way, but no, look, I think if it's a guy they love, I'm not putting anything past Gladstone and those guys.
I would rather have the draft capital. I would too. I would not put it past them either. But that's so. In other words, if you feel like you're that one special player away, or if that one special player is available, and this would be a deal that would go down on the clock, obviously, because you'd have to know exactly who you were getting.
Correct.
To give up this kind of wealth of picks. So you don't think Devin Lloyd's back. Your first question in the offseason priorities for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
After Hunter, yeah.
What happened? Right. What happens with? Was he the number one? Yeah, that's right. Obviously.
Right.
But what happens with Travis Etienne and Devin Lloyd? You wrote that you didn't think they would use the franchise tag on Etienne. What about the transition tag? Is that off the board? It is. It's more of a savings.
Yeah, it's like $3 million less.
Right. But
yeah,
every dollar counts.
Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, it's a possibility, sure, but the one thing that we know, I go back and I look at the Rams. So they re-signed Kyron Williams. Okay, so you would be paying ETN, the transition tag would be more than I think what Kyron Williams is getting.
11.4 is, I believe, what the projected transition
Correct.
tag
Yeah,
is.
so we won't know for sure, but that's pretty right in the range.
Average
there.
of the top 10 players at the position.
So
is what it is.
You could do it, sure, but you're putting the transition tag on him in the hopes that you're going to be able to get a longer deal done with him. That's kind of the reason you're putting the transition tag on him.
Would it be? Or would they just say, you know what, one more year of ETN playing at that level? That way we don't have to replace 13 touchdowns, however many yards he gave us. We know he's a good fit in the locker room. We know he's a good fit. And then that'll give Bajal Tootin a year where maybe we can lean on him and expand his role.
There's also this standpoint of, like, look, trust your evaluations. You did it. You took Tootin.
Okay, but your evaluation was De'Ami Brown was worth $10 million. Your evaluation is not always right.
Right, but they trusted it until they didn't, which seems like a cop-out. But that's one of the reasons why they were so successful last year, because they were willing to go, whoops, we made a mistake.
It's also why ETN was featured the way he was.
Yes. Correct. Because they didn't think that they would like him as much as they did.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we got this guy. Now we can use
he's playing
him
at a really high level. Remember, it was he and Bigsby as co-starters, with Bigsby getting the first rep of all throughout OTAs and in the beginning of training camp.
Yeah, and week one, and then, and oh, by the way, that stuff about physically, mentally tough, and boop, there goes Tank after the season opener.
Right, because he wasn't fully, not that, I don't know if it's not that he's mentally tough.
No.
He just was disgruntled.
Right, which goes to the mental toughness. Can you handle not having, look, De'Ami Brown got benched. Okay, he was not a problem in the locker room. Was he disappointed and upset? Absolutely. But he was not a problem in that locker room at all. He handled that with the kind of grace that you would only hope for. Now, did he go home?
Kind of grace that falling back on $10 million.
Right. Well, there is that. You know, you can stuff that in my wallet as much as you want. Yeah. But like, guys want to play for sure.
Of course, I get that.
Yeah, I mean. It depends on here's the thing we don't know. Like, who's the free agents that are available? Are they willing to go spend the money on the free agent? Are they willing to pay a little bit less to get a free agent in here? Do you trust your valuation on Tootin and LaQuint Allen? That's the kind of stuff that we don't know. I think we saw at the end of the season, the run game kind of faltered a little bit. Part of that was due to some injuries on the offensive line, obviously. But you got to remember, too, the formula to beat the Jaguars for most of the year, even into the end of the year when Trevor was rolling pretty good, was we'll stop the run and we're going to make Trevor beat us because we don't think he can. That was the way teams approached the Jags. Even into that last 8-game stretch when Trevor really got rolling, it was, we still don't think he can beat us. Not with those receivers. And they were wrong. He was able to do it. But at the expense of, the run game faltered a bit. And there were some times where ETN missed some holes and wasn't as decisive as he should be. I mean, no running back is perfect. But I still think that they're probably, and I may be wrong here, I still think they're going to trust their evaluation on Tootin, and they'll look and see who else is available. It depends on who's free agency available, where are they willing to spend, and you can find these backs in the draft. It doesn't have to be one guy. I
understand that.
I think those guys. I think Tootin and ETN combined for 18 touchdowns. I think is it what it was.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
So, can you make that up in the aggregate with another back another back Tootin and an increased role for LaQuint Allen? Maybe.
I would feel like if they go, I would understand going the rookie route, right? Because you drafted your guys last year. I'd be very surprised if they said, no, we're not going to pay Travis Etienne. Let's bring in Rico Dowdle.
No. I don't think they would go sign like the high-end running back. I think they would
if he was less than Etienne,
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to. I would rather invest in a guy that I know fit beautifully in what I wanted to do this year and performed at a high level. That's me. And I'm a guy, I'd be the first one typically to, I thought Tootin might be taken over at some point
I think
this
everybody
past
did.
year.
I think
Right.
everybody
so,
did. Most people.
But I got it. This is more Travis Etienne has me questioning whether or not, it's too big of a step backwards. He was so good this year.
I hope he's back. He's one of my favorite guys in that locker room.
I don't think the season he had that production that nose for the end zone just happens. I don't think that's 13 touchdowns that you got to replace and a reliability factor and everything. Anyway, we got to take a break. We can get more on this on the other side. We've dug into a couple of your top 5 issues, including Trayvon Walker. Let's get to Walker Little, Brian Thomas, and some other stuff as we move along with Mike DiRocco here in hour 2 of Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Door Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. On campus.
7 years of college down the drain.
On the inside and on XL Primetime. What's the deal with the show? Bleacher Report college football insider Matt Hayes.
How do you like being in a real studio?
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Give a unique gift this Valentine's Day to that special person in your life with a custom-made candle or body care product from Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Jaguars Today, Thursday.
Brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, your locally owned commercial truck headquarters and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, it's Rick Ballou. We got a fresh shipment of hard-to-find ProMaster vans, perfect for Section 179. My buddy Tommy and his team are committed to the community and make the process simple. Upfits, delivery, everything handled right. If you need ProMaster vans or commercial trucks for your fleet, you need Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
San Jose Collision in Mandarin is proud to be an I-CAR Gold Class collision repair facility. That means they meet the industry's highest training standards. Experience the difference at San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T.
Bring it in!
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010XL.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Bold City named 904 Gutters with a Z, the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the team's O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
At Hollis Pools, building a pool is personal. We sit down with you, listen to your vision, and bring your backyard dreams to life right here in Northeast Florida. Working with us doesn't feel like working with a contractor. It feels like working with family. Every Hollis Pools project supports Project Savior Outdoors, helping bring hope to our veterans. Visit hollispools.com. Hollis Pools, your vision, your pool, your escape. License number CPC 1461233.
What NFL quarterback connected on TD passes with 98 different players during his career?
For over 20 years, Southern Oak Insurance has given Floridians a better alternative to their current homeowners policy. See what you can get with Southern Oak. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Tom Brady threw 105 touchdown passes to Rob Gronkowski, but there are 97 other players who caught at least one.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and when the weather starts to shift a little bit, especially during the fall, you've got some really cool stuff from Honda Off-Road.
We do. It's the favorite time of the year for me. Nice little chill in the air. We've got some side-by-sides. We've got the ATVs. Of course, they're legendary dirt bikes. We've got it all.
And for the hunter?
We've got side-by-sides that work and play.
All right, so make sure you check it out. Showroom wide open for you on Atlantic near Regency. If you want to go off-road and have some fun, check out Cycles of Jacksonville.
Start the fresh new you with Local Fair Jacks, the online farmers market delivering fresh local food to your door. Start for just $7 with code FRESH1010 at localfairjacks.com.
Low mortgage rates are back. Listen, Loan Pronto has fixed rate mortgages with APRs as low as 4.89%. It's the lowest in years. Hey, gang, Prosser here. Smart homeowners are taking advantage of this while they can. If you got stuck in a 6% loan, you can lower your payment big time, or you can keep your primary mortgage intact, get cash out, equity with Loan Pronto's rapid equity loans. One homeowner just got $250,000 out of their home. They paid off all their credit cards, some car loans, and cut their monthly expense by $2,000. Call now. See what option works best for you, but don't miss this big rate drop of 2026. Ask about new home loans, VA loans, full cash out refis, or their famous rapid equity loan. You can close in less than 2 weeks. You may be able to skip your next 2 house payments altogether. Call 904-999-1508 or visit loanpronto.com. No hard credit pull. 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. APR for well-qualified buyers.
Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Mike DeRocco on Jaguars Today is kept comfortable by Lee and Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
All right, D-Rock, Jags' 5 biggest storylines this offseason. We have touched on several. Your number one is Travis Hunter and his usage, which you indicated, as we all heard. There were some tells from Gladstone and Cohen about, well, look at the roster. Where do we need more help right now?
Right.
Let me ask you this, and I'm not trying to make this a thing, but it strikes me that, they drafted this guy. They gave up all this because they felt they were getting a star on offense and a star on defense who they claimed would revolutionize football.
Alter the trajectory of the sport, right?
Alter the trajectory of the sport.
Or the game.
Whatever. And if he just turns out to be a really good cornerback, did they massively overpay for Travis Hunter?
Yeah. I mean, you're giving up another first-round pick for now, is he a shutdown corner? Is he Deion Sanders? If he's Deion, then as a shutdown corner, then you can sit there and go, well, maybe not, because there are not very many guys like that.
Anybody who is a Hall of Fame level player would be worth the Hall, right?
But there's no way there's no way he's not going to be on offense.
Sure, but to what degree? I mean, but now a lot of people suggested at the time, well, he'll be a package player on one side or the other. They insisted, no. He's going to be a star. He's going to be a full-time guy. And, I mean, has that just changed now? And,
No, I just think, well, if you look last year, I think I have the numbers in there. What is it? 68% of the offensive snaps he played.
And like a third of the defense.
And, yeah.
36%, I think it was.
30, what was it? It was 67 and 36. 67% of the offensive snaps and 36% of the defensive snaps. So even last year, it was way more heavily weighted to one side, because they needed him at the beginning of the year, they felt like they needed him more on offense. And they felt also it was a little bit more complicated to pick up the offense than it would be the defense. So it's not going to surprise me if those numbers flip next year. It also depends, they may draft a corner. They may bring Monteric back.
They might have to draft a corner regardless.
Yeah,
right?
true.
I mean, you got three guys who are free agents.
They may make that the high priority in the draft. We don't really know at this point. I just expect him. They're adamant he's going to play on both sides of the ball. So is he going to be a full-time guy on both sides of the ball? I think we all know the answer to that right now is no. That's not going to be the case, at least this year. And did they maybe err in trying to make him a two-way player, significant both sides of the ball as a rookie? I think you can make that argument for sure, that maybe they should have picked one side and said, this is where you're going to concentrate as a rookie, and we'll work you in on the other side until we're sure and you're sure that you've got everything down and you've adjusted to the league and you know what's going on, and then we can kind of increase that other side of the ball involvement, which might be the way that they do it this year. And it's probably the smartest way to do it.
Yeah, but he helped on both sides when he was available.
He did. But that, I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm just saying it probably would have been easier for him mentally. I mean, don't forget, the beginning of this season, he's he's not sure where he's supposed to be. Sometimes the routes were off. You know what I mean? And Trevor, I mean, if you remember at the beginning of the year, Trevor's lining guys up. Diami's not sure where he's, that was part of the offensive struggle at the beginning of the year, is not everybody was all on the same page there. So that might have been too much of an ask.
All right, so Gladstone says, look at the roster, look at where our free agents are, look at where the holes are as to where Travis Hunter might be needed more, right? And part of that is the reverse of that is, well, you got Jacoby Myers, you got Parker Washington, you got Brian Thomas Jr., which brings us to another point in your offseason rundown here, what to do with Brian Thomas Jr. What do you think? Like, to me, unless I get blown away with a trade offer, like if Buffalo wanted to give me the 26th pick in the draft for Brian Thomas, I'd probably do it and
go with God.
And,
yes.
and reset the clock, right, on a rookie contract. Even if I don't take wide receiver there are a lot of wide receivers maybe I could get at pick 56 based on where you see some of these rankings. But at the same time, I'm not giving him up to like for a third and a sixth round pick.
No.
I think Brian Thomas has way too much value to his football team just in watching how teams put their best cover guy on him down the stretch this year. He still draws the attention, which opens things up for other guys.
That was the guy Surtain was on.
Exactly. My point, right. So what do you think is when training camp rolls around, what's the status of Brian Thomas Jr.?
I think he's exactly in the role that he was in at the end of the season. The guy that they're going to use a lot outside the numbers, guy that's going to stretch the field, and they'll take some shots with him down the field. I think that's where he's most confident. I think if you just go back and watch him all last year, you could see when he was over the middle of the field and running some of those those crossers, and he just didn't seem as confident. And when he's on the outside and he's getting down the field, I think he was much more confident there. Look, he's got 4.3 speed. You don't dump 4.3 speed.
And good size.
Yeah. Could he put on a little bit more weight? Yeah, probably.
No, but I mean, in terms of his height and everything, like he can go high-pointed. He's not, I don't look at him as a small receiver at all.
No, I think that's what he's going to be for them in this offense moving forward. And look, again, that's another reason why I look at this staff and I look at Liam Cohen and I go, man, like willing to see the mistake and see the problem and fix it and not be stubborn, because we all know one of the more stubborn groups of people on this planet are football coaches. And their willingness to adjust on the fly and admit mistakes, to me, is significant and just a huge sign of the intelligence of that group.
But you think, like right now, give me a percentage likelihood that on the first day of training camp, Brian Thomas Jr. is on the Jaguars roster.
Oh, 90, 95%.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
I was going to go like 95, 97.
Yeah, it just depends. Like there may be that one stupid offer.
You can't, right. You can't rule that out with a team that if they don't feel like the value is there and they want a guy that at least has had a 1,200-yard season in the National Football League. And when we get a hold of
that's the stubborn part right there. When we get a hold of
them, D-Rock.
The stubborn and the arrogance. Yes,
all right.
I'll fix them.
Item number 5. What happens with Walker Little? What are the options here?
That's interesting because what do you do with him? You've signed Cole Van Lanen. He's your left tackle. Or
as your right tackle and
Anton Flips. Either way, what have you done with, is Walker Little now, okay, you're going to compete with Patrick McCarry and be the right guard? Or are you going to be the swing tackle and be happy with that and be okay with it? Or can you play left guard?
If he's happy
with
it?
If he's not willing, you don't care if he's happy, but I guess the better thing is, are you going to attack that the way you would attack being a starter? Because that's what we need. That's what you're telling him. That's what we need out of you. We need you to attack this with the same desire
you have
and
reason
commitment.
To think it wouldn't be the case?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've heard some things before that, he wasn't happy with some things, and he wasn't an attitude problem, but it was pretty evident that he wasn't happy inside the building. But he was not an attitude problem, and he wasn't a work ethic problem. But if you're Walker Little, look at it this way: I got drafted to be here, to be the left tackle. Didn't work out. Now I'm the left. Now I'm competing at right tackle. Shoot, I didn't beat out Jawan Taylor. Now I'm back to being a backup. Now I'm the left tackle now again, and they signed me to an extension.
At any point, prove you're better than Cam Robinson.
Right. Look, I'm
take
just saying,
the job.
I'm just saying, from his standpoint, this is what he's seeing. I'm in the lineup. I'm not. I'm in the lineup. Now I'm a right tackle. Now I'm back at left tackle. Okay, they believe in me. They sign me to an extension. The GM, who has a massive rule, never negotiate during the season, signs me to an extension. I'm the starting left tackle. Oh, no, you're not. Less than a year later. You know what I mean? So he probably feels like he's been yo-yoed and jerked around pretty significantly in his career here.
But he was the left. It's not like they just said, we're going to make Cole Van Lanen the left tackle today.
No.
Right? The way
Cole
it played
Van Lanen outplayed him.
Yes. So you don't get handed anything.
No.
Right? I mean, you might, but you have to continually then earn the right to hold on to that spot. So what do you think? End of the day, same kind of deal. First day of training camp, Walker Little, is he a Jaguar or did they find a trade partner?
I think he's a Jag. He's a Jag. This team does value guys that can play multiple spots, as we've seen. He can play guard and tackle. It's impressive. And the offensive line needs to be a little bit better, I think, than it was at the end of the season. So I think he'll still be here. Unless the fall, you know what I mean?
Right.
Unless you get the offer where you
Because a team can look and go, you know what, $11 million for a starting left tackle. We can get by with him. We lost our guy. Like, do you think he would have been an upgrade over whatever the Chargers were throwing out there this year? Seriously.
You would have been an upgrade over whatever
that's
the
my
Chargers.
point, right? Like, so there could be a team like
Be
that
an
that
upgrade
says
for a lot of teams.
I would think so, right?
And what's Wyatt Milam's role too? That's the thing that he's supposed to be a tackle.
Is he?
That's what we were told. He was going to be a tackle. He's a tackle. That can also play guard. Again, there's a little bit of.
I felt like that was the opposite. That he was a tackle collegiately. We envision him more as a guard. Who may be able to play tackle. I felt it was the opposite. That it was guard first and tackle. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they liked obviously Walker Little at guard more than they liked Wyatt Milam last year.
Right.
But that also could have been because of the injury.
Right, and that's what they reference. They're
right.
like, you get behind and you start losing reps as a rookie, and you don't realize how tough it is. All right, so Wyatt Milam, part of today's question of the day. Let's discuss this when we come back on the other side. Which young Jaguar will have the biggest impact on the team's success in 2026? Caleb Ransaw, Wyatt Milam, Bajal Tutin, or whichever player they take. Let's call it with their first pick, but currently picked 56 in the NFL draft. Tony will take us around the league as well. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. At 1010XL, radio is just the beginning.
Transmission begins.
The 1010XL Sports Network is now everywhere on your desktop, laptop, and phone. Find 1010XL at 1010XL.
Happy New Year, sports fans. Hicken here, and let's keep the skincare talk going while we ring in the new year. I know it's winter, a little cold outside. That sun is still shining, so let's always be reminded to take care of our skin. Beaches Dermatology now has a new location open in Fernandina. So if you live just a little north of Duval, you can now see the pros at Beaches Dermatology without having to make the drive to Jax. Go online to beachesdermatology.com to book your skincare appointment today. That's beachesdermatology.com.
You're locked in to Jaguars Today Thursday with
Cannons of Jacksonville.
Be the first to discover the best new home community in beautiful Green Cove Springs. Highland Trail, where the rhythm of life slows down. Enjoy green spaces, luxury pools, pickleball courts, winding trails, and more at livehighlandtrail.com. Choose from 3 premium builders, just starting in the 300s.
Oh, at Highland Trail. Coach Campo here, and I just want to tell you about the best pizza I've had right here in Duval, and that's Tony D's Pizza. Tony works hard to make every slice perfect. If you love pizza like I do, you need to go to Tony D's, Bay Meadows and 295.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
Frank Frangie here. When you're inside the Kuhn Flowers showroom, you'll find a wide array of gift ideas that will take care of any gift-giving situation. Spend a few minutes there, and you'll see for yourself. That's Kuhn Flowers on Beach Boulevard.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Hi, this is Dave Barker with IHRS. People ask, are your solutions for thinning hair permanent? Yes, our solutions have permanent natural results and are guaranteed to work. Put our 35 years of experience helping 10,000 plus men and women to work for your thinning hair. Our trademark hair transplant procedures will give you 3 times more hair in one procedure. PRP and laser treatments are fast, easy, and effective, and only take 30 minutes. Most of our staff have experienced hair loss ourselves. Our caring and confidential team can help you look better and feel better about yourself and restoring your hair again.
For your confidential consultation, call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or go to hairforme.com. That's hairforme.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs, or maybe a logoed stick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. Hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, couple of quick things before we get to today's question of the day. Appreciate the folks keep us straight on X. Great point here from Irish Diplomacy on the subject of a potential draft party, as obviously the Jags currently have no first-round pick. Probably not happening with all the construction. There's cranes inside the stadium right now. It's a great point. You know, I don't even think about it because, I zip in, man. I'll be honest with you. Parking over at the fairgrounds this year was about as easy peasy as it got. I tell you, it might have been easier than parking in Lot J for the folks working at the Miller Electric Center. It was fantastic, but that's a good point by Irish Diplomacy.
You could do it at ViStar Ballpark.
You could, right? But
depending on what game's going on.
There'd be venues, absolutely, but that's one more hurdle to overcome. Don't be poo-pooing Irish Diplomacy. And then
I wasn't. What the heck, man?
I mentioned earlier that I thought there was a team out there that had decided not to trade out of the first round. And I did a quick Google search, and, of course, AI Slop came back and said, no, there's no instance of this happening. And then somebody on X, Love Hyphen, said that it was the Chiefs when the draft was in Kansas City. So I Googled specifically, did the Chiefs not trade because they were hosting the draft? And it's exactly what happened, according to reports. Clark Hunt, their owner, instructed Brett Veach, their general manager, not to trade out of the first round in 2023 because they were hosting the draft and they wanted the show to continue for the fans. They didn't want the fans to leave when they got news of them sliding out of the first round.
Right.
So,
yeah.
If you think those kind of things don't influence anything, I think that's ridiculous? Yeah, but be it.
They took Felix,
the cat. A wonderful, wonderful cat.
Nudike Uzoma out of Kansas.
That's who they
State.
took with pick 31?
31 overall, yeah.
Don't know if he's had...
Probably should have traded out.
That.
That's where I think I was going.
Look,
I was trying to get his stats.
What is he? He's a defensive tackle?
Defensive end.
Defensive end. Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard a whole lot of impact out of him.
He has... Whoa, what happened there? That's not good. He has 3 sacks and 3 starts and 41 tackles.
Not
2 forced fumbles.
That's in 3 years.
22, 23, he didn't play in 25.
Oh, he didn't? Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 years then.
2 years, yeah. But 3 years
draft.
since the draft, yes.
Yikes. All right.
3 starts.
Let's look at today's question of the day, presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate, where we asked you about a young player that's going to make the biggest impact on this football team. And we want to take Travis Hunter out of the mix because I think it would have been a runaway. It's kind of a runaway for Bajal Tootin right now, but Caleb Ransaw, you would think, Tony, if he doesn't fall flat on his face, has a great chance to be an every game starter for this football team at safety.
Yeah, I think Ransaw is interesting given how good Antonio Johnson was this year.
It is.
Right? So what do you do with Ransaw coming back? We know they have a big need at corner. Do they look at Ransaw playing a little bit more corner than maybe they originally envisioned him playing, just out of a necessity for the football team, given that I wouldn't want to take Antonio Johnson off the field? You know, the way that he's playing. And if your safeties are healthy beyond that, I don't think Ransaw is a strong safety.
No.
Right? And it seems like Johnson is a much better player, as more in that free safety role. So what do they do potentially moving Ransaw around a little bit?
Yeah, my guess right now would be they just go with the rotation. And
But do you think he gets snaps at nickel corner, for instance? Like he played nickel corner.
and you know, or in the big nickel,
Yes.
however they want to work it, just like Antonio Johnson did at times. He would step into the rotation part where if they're not bringing Wingard back, then you've got 3 safeties that you're throwing out there. You need more than 2 for sure. So that's what I would guess where he would be. Give him every chance. You know, you open up all the 3 jobs and see how it shakes out.
Who would you vote for in this poll?
Who would I vote for?
Yeah,
I
in
think
terms of the biggest impact.
I think it'll be Tootin.
You do. So you think ETN will be gone then?
I do.
Because if you think
But even
ETN's
if
back,
he wasn't gone, even if ETN's back, I still think Tootin has a chance to really. I would see it as more of a split between those two as opposed to what it was this year.
fair, but I would still anticipate in that scenario that ETN's the lead of that split.
Yeah.
Right? And that
At least
he's the
early,
55 to the 45, right? Otherwise, why are you paying to bring him back, right? If you think that Tootin's going to be the lead guy, then I'd 100% move on from ETN. But so in that circumstance, I'd vote for Ransaw. Here, I feel like the poll results are pretty accurate to how I feel overall. 58% on Tootin, 26% on Ransaw. I would say the player they took at 56, I'd have a very low hope of him having a bigger impact, basically because their draft class didn't have a huge impact last year, right? And that doesn't mean that the player you take at 56 can't change that narrative this year, but I feel like they're much further along, Tone, in terms of being a competent, competitive roster than they were at the same time last year.
I think for it to be the player they take at 56, it has to be an interior defensive lineman that's a starter.
Absolutely, that's a good possibility.
Right, like that would be where my vote for that would go. It's like if they take a linebacker, I think he'll still just kind of be in and out. You know, I think safety, it would be in and out, as we've just discussed. I think corner, it would be in and out. Like, I don't think there's any other position that I would see it as, all right, they're trying to get a guy to step in as the closest to a full-time starter. It's interesting with all 4 of the options there that they're all kind of volatile, right? Like Ransaw, we just talked about what exactly do we think his role is going to be, right, in the secondary for the team. Wyatt Milam is going to be having to win a job.
But he might.
But he might. As well, Bajal Tootin may have a job as a starter, or he may not.
Right, and that's kind of what you got to project here.
Right, like it's volatile with all the options that we have here. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go with Tootin, but that's more on how I feel like I think the ETN thing is going to play out for the football team. Obviously, if ETN's back, I'd probably go Milam because I think he will win a job somewhere on the offensive line.
Yeah, if he ends up being the starting right guard,
yeah.
But he's got a lot of competition for that as it presently stands. McCary and Walker Little and himself, and he wasn't able to do it this year. RJ, quickly, who you voting for in this one?
The player that they take at pick 56 for the reason why Tony said, because I think they may go interior defensive lineman. If they go a D tackle, get a stud of a guy at that position. I do believe that they're saying the reason why we're drafting this guy is because he's going to make an immediate impact on the team. Now, we've discussed this week that potentially you do go in free agency to try to figure that out as well. But I do believe, just in my opinion, that they're going to go out in the draft and probably use that first pick on a D tackle, and I think he's going to have major impact first year.
All right, if you haven't voted, you can at MD_1010XL. Quick look around the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Cleveland defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz wants out of Cleveland. According to a report from The Insiders, a podcast with the NFL Network's information guys, Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero among them, the Browns announced the hire of Todd Monken as their new head coach yesterday, and Mr. Schwartz appears to be none too happy about it. Myles Garrett, you can count him among the none too happy about it as well, it seems, has requested to be traded for the second straight offseason after releasing a statement in that regard yesterday. New England linebackers Harold Landry and Robert Spillane were both listed as not having practice on their injury reports yesterday, getting ready for the Super Bowl next weekend. Patriots quarterback Drake May and Seattle quarterback Sam Darnold were both listed as limited in practice. Linebacker Ernest Jones, the only Seattle player listed as not having practice.
All right, Walker Little and pick 56, Cleveland. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Come on, Miles. Come on down. All right, let's take our final time out here. Last words with Mike DiRocco before we go on hiatus with D-Rock for the off season, or a big chunk of it at least. You're listening to the Jaguars today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here. If you're looking for the best selection of trucks right here in Jacksonville, you know it's truck time. And big number one, Duval Ford. Duval Ford's got Jacksonville's largest lineup of brand new trucks with massive discounts, over $10,000 off select models. That's right, savings you're not going to find anywhere else. Your next truck is waiting at big number one, Duval Ford. So visit DuvalFord.com or swing by 1616 Caston Avenue and check out the showroom today. It's truck time at big number one, Duval Ford.
Jaguars today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
A new year is the perfect time to finally get organized. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to home offices, entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and more. Beautiful, functional storage for any space, lifestyle, and budget. Start the new year strong with 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free in-home consultation. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Jaguars Today Thursday, brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Jacksonville is the flip side of Florida. And inside the flip side, the action never stops. If you're tired of hearing about the best games after the final whistle, don't get left on the sidelines. Whether it's a unique sporting event you've never seen, a weekend with the family, or a winning date night, Visit Jacksonville is your ultimate playbook. Get in the game. Head to visitjacksonville.com/locals or download the Visit Jax app today and see everything coming in 2026. Jacksonville. Experience the flip side.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group, 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Looking for that designer engagement ring like Tacori or Viraggio? Then hear this. The only locally owned authorized dealer here for these exquisite rings is Beard's Diamonds. Beard's is your destination for the top names in bridal design. Tacori, Viraggio, Sylvie, Gabriel & Company, Gnome Carver, and more. If she's seen it on Pinterest or in a bridal magazine, Beard's has it. Exquisite, handcrafted, and made in America. So you can get her the ring of her dreams without having to go to one of those national mega chain jewelers. At Beard's, there's no big company rules, no Wall Street sales goals, no impersonal service. The non-commissioned experts at Beard's Diamonds will take their time and let you see dozens of ring styles from all the most sought-after designers. Beard's is proud to be Jacksonville's premier jeweler for nearly 45 years. We're committed to this area and promise an authentic, refined, and risk-free experience. Without markups, without pricing games, without corporate red tape getting in the way of making you happy. Beard's Diamonds, Jacksonville's diamond store. At the shops at St. John's Town Center.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah. Mike DeRocco Thursday on Jaguars Today is covered by Lee and Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
All right, final few minutes with D-Rock. Now, as a full-time Thursday guy for a little while, right? You'll be popping in from time to time. Which,
hopefully.
Yeah, well, you'll be invited. Let's put it that way.
Okay, good.
That'll be up to you, whether you have the time.
Whether I say yes.
Yeah, whether you have the time to, spend some time with the Jaguar audience out there. So what, in the short term, are you working on next? You did the 5 off-season storylines for the Jags. What's the next project for you at ESPN?
Well, I have a Trevor Lawrence story that I wrote that is probably going to run after the Super Bowl. Working on free agent blurbs. What we do is all the guys on the team that we cover, each of us cover, we put like some blurbs together so that when they do sign here or somewhere else, boom, the news desk can take it and throw it all out there really quickly. So I'll have working on that. Helping out on a Super Bowl project. And then I've got like 3 or 4 other big off-season stories that I want to work on. Going to be obviously doing free agency preview stuff, combine preview stuff, not going to the combine. Jags aren't going to the combine, at least not, the
F them combines.
Yeah, F them combine. So I don't have to fly into very cold Philadelphia, Indianapolis in February. So that's good. And then owners meetings. I'll be at the owners meetings in Phoenix. So just got a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah.
And hopefully, we'll have some availabilities with Gladstone and Liam Cohen at some point in the next month or so. And we'll hash it out there.
What do you think? Next time we hear from him, like around the opening of free agency, that kind of time?
Maybe before that, yeah, potentially around combine time is a possibility I've heard, but not anything for sure. But yeah, I think we'll get him at least once, I think at some point before free agency. And then there's always the draft availability, the pre-draft luncheon kind of thing that we get.
Right.
So that'll be
a lot of intel really shared
what a difference
there.
a year makes. Like last year going into the combine, we were looking at what does the NFL calendar say about who can and can't go to the combine depending on when they hire them.
Right.
Like all those things, like what is happening with the timeline on all these things? And then they got announced and a week later they were at the combine.
Right.
Well,
and now they're just like, nah.
I think it was the Friday. I mean, I remember going to the Gladstone press conference, having to push my flight back to later in that day because I was going to the combine, and then saw Gladstone the next day for an availability up there. So it's crazy.
All right. Final words with Mike DeRocco coming up. First now, we talk to XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Big Sirs, what's going on, man?
How you doing, gentlemen?
We're doing quite well.
All right.
Our damage has been done for the day. So what are you guys getting into?
Well, we're gonna have John McClain on the show. Who was Yeah, one of the voters. The whole conspiracy about Bill Belichick not being the first ballot Hall of Famer. We're gonna figure it out.
All right. We had John McClain on 2 hours ago.
Did
So,
you?
Yes, that's
Well,
why I was
he's a
surprised.
repeat offender then.
A lot of well, look, he's a great source, and there's a lot of interesting things going on with the Jags' now main division rival, the Houston Texans, which are interesting as well. So, all right, good stuff, man. We'll be listening for it.
You got it.
All right, sirs, have a great show coming up today. That reminds me, thank you to John McClain for his many visits here on 1010XL.
He's just more of a regular than I am.
He
at
may
this
be
point.
at this point, yes. At least today, he is Mike Duraco. Well, may you have many fairways hit and putts hold throughout the course of the summer, and hopefully we get to spend a little time out there on the golf course. We love having you in on Thursdays. You know, we've told you that many times. The Breakfast Bowl will continue.
Woohoo!
I guess the good thing is nobody has to buy a whole pack of bacon for Denmark next year.
Oh my gosh!
In any given week when you lose, so.
I think we should I'm just going to randomly mail him a pound of bacon.
You
now,
should.
Just at some
right?
point. Like
He'd
at
love it. Are
Baldwin
you
High
kidding
School.
me? That won't embarrass him. He'd be like, that's fantastic. Be one of the best things. D-Rock, all the best. Until the next time we have you on, continued success with all you do over there at ESPN covering our Jacksonville Jaguars.
Man, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the listeners. You guys make it fun on Thursday. And I'm going to miss you guys.
No, get out of here.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
miss you.
That's it. For Mike Duraco, Tony Smith, RJ Saunders, and yes, John McClain, I'm Mike Dempsey. Back with Tom McManus tomorrow on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.